Good day, ma'am. I am Almira P. Valdesco, and I am going to tackle about lipid-related system. First, I will going to tackle about the biosynthesis of lipid and related system, the transport and the shuttle system. So, the shuttle system and transport. The shuttle system used to transport the fatty acid into the mitochondria. It helps also in transfer of electron from the NADH. So, electron niya gikan sa NADH, i-transfer ni siya through the electron transfer chain. Ang electron transfer chain is the collection of the protein or membrane nga makaproduce og energy. Then, ang imong transport system are transported as lipoproteins in the blood. Lipids na siya nga mo transport og lipoproteins into the blood. Sa isa is transport of fatty acid into the mitochondria, din ang isa is ang transport system is lipid are transported as lipoproteins into the blood. Ang lipoproteins diya is consist of inner core of hydrophobic lipids. So, hydrophobic means not water-loving. So, it is surrounded by the surface layer of the phospholipids, cholesterol, and outer proteins, the apolipoproteins. Next is the structure, function, and classification. Lipids are essential components of the cell membrane. The structure is typically made of glycerol backbone, two fatty acid tails or hydrophobic, and a phosphate group hydrophilic. Isa ka water-loving, isa ka not water-loving. Fatty acid rarely occur as a free molecules in nature but are usually found in component, mainly complex lipids molecules such as fats and phospholipids component of the cellular. The section describes the structure and the physical and chemical properties of the fatty acid. It also explains how living organisms obtain fatty acid, both from their diets through the metabolic breakdown of stored fats. Saturated fatty acid is named as stearic acid. It has a straight hydrocarbon tail. So, makita na to sa picture, di ba nga? Taas ang ihang murag ikog nga nay hydrocarbon tails. Fatty acid with unsaturated tails pack less tightly together, have weaker London forces. London forces is inducible. So, those have a lower melting temperature than those with saturated tails of the same length. So, og gamay ang imong tail, shorter it tails, that also decrease in melting temperature. This property cover over the fats all containing them. So, ang imuhang hydrocarbon tails, kung taas siya, taas po ang iyang melting point. Then, ang imuhang magkataas po ang iyang melting point. Then, ang imuhang shorter tail na fats is magka-decrease pa ang imuhang melting point. Triglycerides. Triglycerides are fats and oils are primary energy storage forms of animals. So, kani siya, gikan ni siya sa animals. It is a biological oils. Not the same ni siya sa mga petroleum oil. So, unsa man day kalayan sa fats and oils? Fats and oils have the same basic structure. Pero, ugmoingan kini kag fats, it is a name that compounds that are solid at room temperature. Then, ang imong oil is those that are liquid at room temperature. So, muna kilian silang daw. Adipocytes. Fats are stored in the body in a specialized cells known as adipocytes. Enzyme known as lipases release fatty acid from fats by hydrolysis. Triglycerol lipase is able to cleave the first two fatty acid from fat. A second enzyme, monoglycerol lipase, cleaves the last fatty acid. So, ang usa nga mo first nga moclave is ang triglycerolipase. Then ang ikaduha is ang monoglycerolipase. Glycerol phospholipids. Glycerol phospholipids are important component of lipid bilayer of the cellular membranes. Phosphoglycerides are structurally related to the fats, as both are derived from phosphatic acid. In this structure, various groups such as ethanolamine, serine, choline, inositol, and others are linked to the phosphate of the phosphidic acid and then the 1-carbon glycerol via an ester linkage. So all of this compound from lipid bilayers in aqueous solution due to their amphiphilic nature. This phosphate-containing head group in a hydrophilic, while the acyl chains from the fatty acid are hydrophobic. Sphingolipids. Fatty acids are also component of a broad class of molecules called sphingolipids. So, sphingolipids are similarly structured to the glycerophospholipids, but they are synthesized independently. Separate nyo sila, dili mi pareha gigama. Then, ang imong sphingolipids are named from the amino alcohol known as sphingosine, though they are not directly synthesized from it. So, makita na sa picture the generalized structure of the sphingolipids. Eicosanoids, a fatty acid made from omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, include the important fatty acid containing 20 carbons. So, kani siya is affecting the inflammation, the immunity, the mood, and the behavior nimo. Prostaglandins, a collection of molecules acting hormones prostaglandins, derived from the arachidonic acid and have many differing physiological effects. These include the constriction or dilation of vascular smooth muscles, induction of labor, regulation of inflammation, and action of thermoregulatory center of the hypothalamus to induce fever and among others. Prostaglandins are grouped with the thromboxanes and prostacyclins as prostanoids. These prostanoids, which all contain 20 carbons, are subclass of eicosanoids. Prostaglandins are found in most tissue of higher organisms. They are autocrine of pacrine compounds produced from essential fatty acid. Thromboxanes. Thromboxanes play a role in blood clot formation and name of their role in thrombosis. They are potent vasoconstrictors and facilitate platelet aggregation. So, vasoconstrictors is mutabang siya pag-constrict. It is the anti-clotting effect of aspirin have the roots in inhibition of the synthesis of PGH2, which is the precursor of the thromboxanes. The most common thromboxanes are A2 and B2. So, the most common thromboxanes are A2 and B2. Ma-help na siya to the inhalation of the PGH2. Prostacyclin. They are produced from the PGH2 from the by the action of the enzyme prostacyclin synthase. So, leukotrienes. Leukotrienes are involved in regulating immune response. They are found in leukocytes and other immunocompetent cells such as neutrophils, monocytes, mast cells, eosinophils, basophils. Leukotrienes are associated with production of histamine and prostaglandins, which act as the mediators of the inflammation. So, cholesterol. Cholesterol is made in many cells of the body, which is the liver making is the greatest amount. The anabolic pathway leading the synthesis of cholesterol is known as the isoprenoid pathway, and branches of it lead to the another molecules, including another fat-soluble vitamins. So, mauna tutanan ang lipid-related system, ang iyang functions, structure, and classification. Now, let's go to the physiological significance and its clinical correlation. So, physiological significance and its clinical correlations. The psychologically significance of lipids and other related systems is extensive and includes various crucial functions in the body. So, importante dyan sila kay naana siya rule sa ato ang crucial functions in our body. Lipids are diverse group of organic molecules that include fats, phospholipids, and steroids. Here are some their psychological significance and clinical correlations. So, the energy storage. So, ang ginungan ganiha, triglycerides, a type of lipids, serve as the primary storage form of energy in the body. So, ug wala ang atong energy storage, asa man ta magkuhang energy. So, importante jud siya. Then, clinical correlation. Dysregulation of lipid metabolism can lead to the obesity and metabolic disorders. Ug masubraan po na siya, makakos pa ni siya obesity and metabolic disorders. Too much fat is also not good for the health. Then, cell membranes. Cell phospholipids are essential in the cell membranes. Another significance and its clinical correlation is brain function. Lipids, especially omega-3 fatty acids, are crucial for brain development and function. So, importante ang omega-3 for the development and function of the brain. Clinical correlation is deficiencies in omega-3 fatty acid have been associated with cognitive disorder and mental health conditions. So, kana bitong mga slow learner, base nagkuwang possible nga nagkuwang sila og omega-3 sa development sa ilahang brain. Digestion and absorption is also their significance. Lipids aid in the digestion and absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins are the vitamin A, vitamin E, D, E, and K in the small intestine. So, ang clinical correlation niya is malabsorption disorder can lead to vitamin deficiencies. So, kung magkuwang anak nila, you can have a vitamin deficiency. Another is the cholesterol metabolism. Cholesterol is a lipid that is essential for the formation of cell membrane and the synthesis of bile acids. Clinical relations, high level of low-density lipoprotein cholesterol are risk factor for arteriosclerosis and cardiovascular disease. So, di ba natay good and bad cholesterol? If kadtong bad cholesterol, if masubraan kadto, you have a tendency to have an arteriosclerosis da imong veins, imong agianan sa imong dugo dili na maka run ang blood because nabulit na siya og fats and cardiovascular disease. Inflammation and immune response is also a significance and physiological correlations, such as prostaglandins are involved in inflammatory response, immune regulations. Ang clinical correlation niya is dysregulation of lipid-derived and signaling molecules can contribute to chronic inflammation and autoimmune disease. So, kanang ang imong own immunity dili naka-fight because nagkuwang kaadto nga lipids. Overall, understanding lipid metabolism and its clinical correlation is crucial in the managing various health conditions. So, dapat i-manage jud nato tanan para dili ka magka-sakit, magkaon kag autoimmune deficiency or vitamin deficiency. Because lipid is a profile test, dietary modification, and medication commonly used to monitor and control lipid levels to reduce the risk of cardiovascular diseases and other related disorders. So, that's all for the lipid-related system. And thank you.